All right, I'm just changing the Avies all the time, right? All right. You know, I'll try and make this brief because I've said it before, but I just don't want my audience to be pawns of something else. You know, now I'm sure if people actually saw my content, they'd be like, "Oh, ooh, cringe and everything else. Ooh, don't use ableist hashtags, this and that." I saw that. I saw that on a lot under the funny did a Vosh. It's like, oh man, but the thing is that I genuinely don't want my audience to just fall into the trap that I think that people didn't learn back in 2015 or 2016, which is people are just like, we're growing, we're gonna win, we're getting this going, we have to radicalize people, he's good for radicalization, you know, and to me that is not what it should be about. You know, I say it, but I say that's not what creating an audience should be about necessarily. You know, because the thing is that you're going to have disagreements and everything else like that, but that doesn't mean that you should just have folks that are just like true or provide actual pushback. You know what I mean? I think I'm trying to say this with as much good faith as I can, but I feel like that's what it should be about: is creating a genuine facade or facade. I'm sorry, a genuine face to show people and say, yeah, this is what I believe. Is some of what I put on an act, or some of it, there for the memes and everything? Yeah, some of it is. But I'd like to think enough of y'all think of me as somebody who at least roughly believes what I believe, or at least can sympathize to a point, and that's good enough. I don't expect you to agree with every single thing I say, but anyway, beyond the me bit, beyond that, because that's a little too much. But the world is a complicated place, and you can think that a group or a organization cares about you, and they'll say, yeah, you did a real good job there and whatnot. Next thing you know, let's say there's embezzlement or something like that, and they drop the ball on you and say, actually, they did it. You know, so that's why for me, I'm weary of groups, and I think a lot of folks are. I think that there is this general weariness towards groups because of all the infiltrations and everything else like that, through the Wignats, or whoever else, right? But the left feels that way as well. But it's still about radicalization to some degree, you know. The thing is that people still have to make their choices. People still have to decide what they want to do. I can't tell you, and maybe I'm sounding more like the instigator that I go about, that I skewer all the time, really. But the thing is that you can't just rely on a group to decide your direction. You have to be your own person, and you have to realize is that you can join a group and be part of something, but are you on one side or another? These splits happen all the time, whether it's Bolsheviks and Mensheviks, amongst the revolutionaries in the Russian Empire, the so-called left-wing Nazis, the Strasser brothers and whatnot. versus the folks who are willing to work with the conservatives and the monarchists and all that other stuff. The split of the blue dog Democrats versus more progressive Democrats and whoever corporate Democrats, split of the Republican Party, or whichever, right? These splits happen. And you can try to be as centrist and as accommodating to people as you want to, but ultimately, you're going to get put in the box eventually. And history will only tell about who gives power to what. I just want people to be cognizant of that. Because I think right now there's still this idea that everybody's a comrade, this and that, apart from some folks here and there, but everybody's a comrade. Everyone's, but if you steer away from that, then you're not, and you'll be taken out. The thing, what I'll say to that, what I'll finish up with is not everyone has the same goals. And just realize that you may think something, but the person right next to you who's agreeing with you, who's clapping right next to you, yeah, that person may be the person who's going to sell you out. Maybe that's a bit of paranoia, but it's happened quite a bit, right? So you have to be cognizant of that and realize that not everybody, even the folks that you've known for years, even your own family, are not necessarily have your best interests at hand. It's a complicated world. It is. I repeat that because I know that it is. But you have to be a little bit paranoid to get through it. And you have to be a little bit more, listen to the detractors a little bit and try to see what you can do to be as adaptable as you can. A lot of people will say this is selling out. Part of it is. Part of it's just being pragmatic, in my opinion, Anyway, I think that's all I have to say. See you later. Goodbye.